Hi everyone. In this video, we are looking at traffic shaping or traffic policing techniques. So what it does is that suppose you are a host and you want to send some data over the network, right? This is the network over which you want to send some data. Now, let's suppose that you are having irregularities in the data, which means sometimes you have big data to send and sometimes you have little less data to send. So there are irregularities that you have at your end. But in the network, you want to send at some fixed rate, okay, which means you want to regulate this data not based on the data that you have, which means like sometimes you have more data, sometimes you have less data. So basically not based on that, you don't want to send every data immediately. You want to control the data flow so that you can send the data in some fixed rate, need not to be fixed for all the time, which means like for some time it is, let's suppose 5 mbps, and let's suppose for other time it may be 10 mbps, but it is not very irregular. So that is called traffic shaping. Okay, now at the host side only, at your side only, you will be implementing some techniques. So one of the technique is called leaky bucket and another technique is called token bucket. So what are those techniques? Basically at the host side only, before sending the data, you will send those data to buckets, and based on the implementation, whether you are implementing leaky bucket or you are implementing token bucket or you are implementing mix of like leaky and token bucket, so based on the implementation you will be sending the data to the network, right? So now I will be making this kind of diagram. This is your host, and now you are sending the data to either leaky bucket or token bucket. Let's suppose leaky bucket, and then from leaky bucket to network. So I will be making this kind of diagram. See, this host and leaky bucket are not separate. This is just one thing. But just for sake of explanation, I will be making this diagram. This is just an application layer which is sending the data to a leaky bucket. But to show the questions or to show the examples, I will be making this diagram where I will be saying the host is sending the data to leaky bucket and leaky bucket is sending the data to network. Okay. So I hope that is clear. Now let's see what are these techniques. So first technique is leaky bucket. Leaky bucket says that host, this is this is host, and this is sending data to the leaky bucket. Now host may send the data in irregular fashion, which means sometimes it is sending more drops, sometimes it is sending only one to less drops basically. But this leaky bucket is sending the data at the fixed rate to the network. This is the network, and leaky bucket is sending the data at the fixed flow. So for example, I am sending, so I'm as a host, I'm sending the data with some irregularities, which means for initial 0 to 2 seconds I'm sending the data at 12 mbps speed, and then I'm ideal for some time. Okay, this is the time I'm ideal, and then I'm sending the data at the speed of 2 mbps from 7 to 10. So these are the irregularities in my data. So I'm sending this data to whom? I'm sending this data to leaky bucket. Now it's the leaky bucket responsibility that will send the data to the network. So this is the host which is sending the data to the leaky bucket, and it's the leaky bucket responsibility which will send the data to the network, right? So you remember the diagram. This is host, this is leaky bucket, and this is your network, right? Now I'm sending the data to the leaky bucket, and leaky bucket will send the data to the network. So leaky bucket wants to send the data with some fixed rate. Now what leaky bucket will do? Leaky bucket will basically send the data. Let's suppose the fixed rate which is 3 mbps. Okay, so leaky bucket will send the data at the rate of 3 mbps. Now in the 10 seconds, leaky bucket will send 30 MB of data, and you are sending to the leaky bucket as a host. You are sending 12 into 2, which means 20 MB data you have sent in these 2 seconds, and then 3 into 2, which means 6 MB data you have sent in these 2 seconds, in these 3 seconds, because you are sending at the 2 Mbps speed. So you have also sent 30 MB of data to the leaky bucket. Leaky bucket is also sending the 30 MB of data to the network, but it is sending with the fixed rate. It can maintain the fixed rate, which is 3 Mbps, right? I hope that is okay. But there is one small problem. The problem is that suppose you are sending the data with 12 Mbps speed, okay, and for some reason I am saying that leaky bucket is not sending the data to the network, which means this host, this is actually the completely, this whole thing is host, but for the visual purpose I'm just saying this is host, but completely this whole thing is host, right? As you know. So this host is not sending, for some reason this host is not sending the data to the network for some time. So which means This application layer is sending the data to the leaky bucket, that is okay, but this leaky bucket is not sending for some reason, let's suppose. So there will be some data stored in this bucket, right? Because since it is not, there is no outflow, there is only inflow, that's why there will be some data stored in the bucket. And let's suppose after some time I am allowed to send to the network. So what will happen? If I am implementing the leaky bucket, then it will only send by the speed of 3 Mbps, right? By the bandwidth of 3 Mbps. But if I am idle for the some time, and if I am having more data in my bucket, then sometimes I may allow the data with the higher speed, right? Why? Because if I'm idle for some time, then what I can do, I can allow my bucket to send the data at the higher speed, because if I'm idle, then I may have some data that is already in the bucket. You're getting the point? But leaky bucket will not do that. Leaky bucket will always send with a 3 Mbps speed. So that's the drawback of leaky bucket, and that's where we are implementing token bucket. So token bucket is what? For every packet or for every cell of data. So basically this cell or packet, I will define it later. Cell or packet, whatever I say, this is basically some MB of data. So let's suppose I am saying for every 5 MB of data, I am reducing one token. Okay. So this absolute quantity, what is this concrete quantity, that I will that will depend on problem to problem. But for now, for theoretical discussion, I will either say cell or I will say packet. Okay. So for every cell of the data, let me just say cell. For every cell of the packet of the data, I am reducing one token, which means for, let's suppose for example, for every 5 MB of the data, I will say that my one of the token is reduced. So the picture is like this. This is the host or the application layer that is sending the data to the token bucket. This is token bucket, and now this token bucket is sending the data to the network. Now whenever I send some data to the network, let's suppose for every 5 MB, okay, or for every one cell, I am reducing one token from this token bucket. So this token bucket has some tokens, and that tokens get filled by some speed, so or by some rate. So which means in every second, let's suppose in 1 second, I am filling R tokens in token bucket, right? Which means that after T time, there will be RT tokens in the token bucket. After T seconds, there will be RT tokens in the token bucket. And if I am sending the data, then I will basically do what? I will reduce one token at a time. So what is the benefit of this? Is that suppose you are idle for some time. The host is idle for some time, which means this token bucket will be, let's suppose it is idle for T time, which means the token bucket will be having the T tokens already, right? Sorry, RT tokens already, which means that now if I want to send the data, if the token bucket wants to send the data, since it is having RT tokens already, then it can send more data once, depending on the bandwidth of this channel, right? Depending on this bandwidth. Suppose this is saying that I can allow 20 Mbps per second, and let's suppose I have this RT tokens is basically as good as, let's suppose this RT tokens are equivalent of, so I will take the concrete example, but for now let's understand like this. This RT tokens is, let's suppose, equivalent of, if I'm talking the MB, let's suppose it is equivalent of 4 MB. Okay, so which means that 40 MB. So which means that I can send this 40 MB immediately in 2 seconds, obviously based on this bandwidth, because this bandwidth is important. If this is, let's suppose, 60 Mbps, then I can send 40 upon 60 in these many seconds. If this is 20 Mbps, then I can send in 2 seconds. So I can send this 40 Mbps in just 2 seconds. And whatever data this host is sending, I will also send that. So basically the scenario is like this. See here, this is having, let's suppose, RT tokens, right? And it is sending with some speed. Okay, it is also sending, let's suppose, with some speed, maybe some bandwidth is there, let's suppose bandwidth 1. Okay, and now this is the host, this is your network, right? And now this network is allowing with bandwidth 2. So what I will do, I will send this RT tokens immediately with bandwidth 2 speed, because I can fully utilize this bandwidth 2. So I want to utilize this bandwidth 2, right? Which means I can send this RT tokens in using this bandwidth 2, in which means I can send this RT tokens or RT tokens equivalent of data in just this much time. and after this much time, so this much data I will be sending in this much time, and after this much time, based on the inflow, let's suppose the inflow is of 5 mbps and the outflow is, let's suppose, if it is greater than 5 mbps, let's suppose 10 mbps, then this will be just a pipe, which means I'm not storing anything. If it is lesser, which means, let's suppose if this is lesser, let's suppose if this is 3 mbps, so I will be sending with the rate of 3 mbps, right? So based on this bandwidth it will work. So I hope you're getting a little bit. What I'm saying is that this RT tokens I can send immediately. That is the benefit of token bucket. Earlier it was at the fixed rate, so it was not having the tokens, so which means it was at the fixed rate. So if my host is ideal for t seconds, then I will be having RT tokens that I can send immediately. Okay, so suppose that my host was ideal for some time, and then I have filled this token, and this token capacity is C is my token capacity, token bucket capacity, and I have filled this because the host was ideal for the sufficient time. The host was ideal for the sufficient time, and which means the host is not sending the data, and I have this much data in my bucket. So I have this much data. I have C amount of data in my bucket, which means this bucket is completely full, and the tokens are arriving, or I'm increasing the tokens at the rate of R. Now my question is, after t time or in t time, how much data I can send at max? How much data at max we can send? We can send to the network. See, this after t time I will be having RT tokens, right? So for example, let's suppose this C is 10 packets. Okay, this C is, let's suppose, if I take the concrete example, this C is 10 packets or 10 cells, and this channel is allowing me to send 20 packets per second, right? And I'm increasing the token, so there is, let's suppose, there is no shortage of the data. This host is sending my sufficient data. Okay, so this is not the bottleneck. Okay, this is not the bottleneck. I'm assuming the host is sending the sufficient data to the leaky bucket which it can supply. So this is not the bottleneck, so let's not worry about it. So this R, let's suppose it is 2 tokens per second or 2 packets per second. So after 1 second, how much data I can send? See, 10 packets it is already having, so it can obviously send all 10 packets, because in 1 second I am allowed to send 20 packets, so it can send 10 packets, plus I will be also having 2 packets in 1 second, right? I will be also having 2 packets, which means 10 plus 2, these many packets, 12 packets I can send in 1 second, right? So after 1 second, since this 10 seconds will get empty, this 10 packet will get empty. So after 1 second, I can only send 2 packets per second. Although this bandwidth is allowing me to send 20 packets per second, but after 1 second, I can only send 2 packets per second. So if this is C, the capacity is C, if the rate is R and this is host, this is your network, then if I ask you maximum packets in t seconds, so you will say maximum, at max you can send this whole C plus whatever you are getting in t seconds. You are getting RT, right? These many packets you are getting in t seconds. So these many packets you can send to the network in t seconds. So for example, let's suppose network is allowing you to send 20 packets per second, right? 20 packets per second. And you already have, let's suppose, you already have 40 packets with you. And this rate is, let's suppose, again 2 packets per second. So it means if I ask you that in, let's suppose, in 3 seconds, how many packets you can send? So in 3 seconds you will be able to send, like you ideally, if you have the sufficient sufficient token rate and everything, then ideally you should be sending the 60 packets, but you will not be able to send the 60 packets. Why? Because after 2 seconds you will empty your token bucket, which means after 2 seconds you will be sending this 40 packets. That is okay. So till 2 seconds you will be maintaining this 20 packets per second speed, but after 2 seconds you will not be having these 40 packets, so your speed will reduce. So till 2 seconds you will send 40 packets. Now if you are standing at 2 seconds, then you will be having already 4 packets in your bucket, right? Already 4 packets in your bucket. So that is why you already have 4 packets that you can send in the third second, plus you will be getting 2 packets to send, so 6 packet in the third second. So in the third second you will be sending 6 packets, so total 46 packets you can send in 3 seconds, which is just C plus RT. C means your 40 packets, plus R means your rate, which is 2, and T means 3, which means 46 packets. So this is how we are calculating that how many packets we can send in T seconds, right? So which means I can send with this rate. C plus RT is my rate of sending the data, and this is my bandwidth, that is the maximum bandwidth that it can allow. So whatever is the maximum, so generally this is not the bottleneck. Always the bottleneck is R. That is why C plus RT is generally less than your 20 packets per second. So this C plus RT, so basically if I calculate the rate, then it will be in T seconds I am sending C plus RT data, RT packets, right? So which means my rate at which I am sending the data is C plus RT upon T. This is my rate. Generally, this C plus RT upon T is less than whatever is the maximum allowed. If maximum allowed is 20, then generally it is less than 20, or whatever is the maximum allowed, right? So this is the rate at which we are sending the data. This is C plus RT upon T. Now they will ask questions such that they will say that this suppose this is the bandwidth you are having 20 packets per second. Now they will ask you that till how much time you can maintain this bandwidth, which means till how much time you can send the data with the speed of 20 packets per second. Now by looking at this data, you may say only till 2 seconds, because till 2 seconds you can supply the 40 packets, and after 2 seconds, in the third second, you won't be having much packets. You will be having only 4 packets, and then you will be having two more packets after the 2 more packets that are coming in the third second. So basically after 2 seconds you will be just emptying up this token bucket, and then after 2 seconds you won't be having much data. So that's why in 2 seconds only you will be exhausted. So for 2 seconds only you can maintain this, but that's not the case. See, for 2 seconds yes you can maintain, but for little some fraction of second also you are maintaining because of this 4. So that's why what you need to do, see, this is the rate at which you are supplying the data, and they are saying for how much time you are maintaining this rate. If for how much time you can maintain the rate, which is, let's suppose, 20 packets per second. So that's why you need to equal the C plus RT upon T to the 20. Now suppose C value is 40, R value is your 2, and T value you want to find out for how much time you are maintaining this speed, which is 20. So you can do 40 plus 2t equal to 20t, and then you are getting 18t equal to 40, and from here you are getting t equal to 40 by 18, which is basically, if you just divide 40 by 80, then it should be 20 by 9, which is 2 point something. So more than 2, right? So basically you are maintaining this speed for some more than 2 seconds of time, right? So they will say that for how much time you can maintain the speed. So this is the average rate at which we are sending the data, and this average rate we can maintain. Let's suppose they say that for how much time you can maintain 20 packets per second. So you need to just equate it. Okay, so let's solve some questions. See here, this is the same formula that we have, that is C plus RT upon T, packets per second. Now let's see this question, what they are saying. Let's assume that token bucket is having 10,000 tokens, and the tokens are added at the rate of 1000 tokens per second. So at the rate of 1000 tokens, so initially it is having 10,000 tokens, and now they are adding 1000 tokens in second. So R is 1000. So this is the host, and this is network. If the system is idle for 10 seconds or more, so if the system is idle for the 10 seconds, so this is the capacity of the token bucket. If the system is idle for the 10 seconds, which means in 10 seconds I will be having 10,000 packets, right? Because I'm getting tokens at the rate of thousand tokens per second. So in the 10 second I will be getting 10,000 tokens. So which is as good as sending 10,000 packets. So I will be having 10,000 packets. Now if system is idle for more time, then also does not matter to me, because it can store at max 10,000 packets, right? So system has to be idle for at least 10 seconds to fill this token bucket. Now the bucket collects 10,000 tokens and become full. Any additional token will be discarded. The maximum average rate is basically, if they ask you maximum average rate that you can send the data now, if you want to send the data, so system are idle till this point. Now if you want to send the data after it, then you can send the data with 10,000, which is your capacity, plus RT, which is 1000 into T upon T. So with this rate you can send the data to the network now. Okay, so this I'm not assuming that this is the this is basically, this is not the bottleneck. Okay, not the bottleneck, which means that it is sufficient enough. So this rate is basically greater than, so this speed at which you are sending the data, this is less than this rate. Okay, so let's see some examples. So let's see this gate question. A computer on 10 Mbps network is regulated on the token bucket. So what they are saying, let's suppose this is host or computer and this is your token bucket, and this is your network. So on 10 Mbps network, so which means this bandwidth is 10 Mbps, network bandwidth is 10 Mbps, and this is just a host. This complete thing is a host, right? As you know. The token bucket is filled at the rate of 2 Mbps. So I am filling this token bucket with the rate of 2 Mbps. R is 2 Mbps. It is initially filled to a capacity of 16 MB. So initially it is already filled. Okay, so it is already filled with a capacity of 16 MB. What is the maximum duration for which the computer can transmit for this full 10 Mbps? So what is the maximum duration for which the computer can transmit for this total of 10 Mbps? So I hope you got this question. Now, like if we apply our formula, so before that, just see here. This is Mbps, and or like basically everything is given in megabytes or something like that. So you can assume that for every byte or for every megabyte, like based on you can assume anything, or you do not need to actually assume, but for the sake of understanding, you can assume that for every byte there is one token. So basically you have 16 MB or 16 mega of tokens, right? And tokens are getting filled with the speed of 2 Mbps, which means that there are, like, for 1 byte you are having one token, so that's why the tokens are getting filled with the speed of 2 Mbps, which means 2 mega tokens are getting filled in 1 second. So basically you do not need to assume it, like you can understand directly with the megabytes. So don't get confused much. Basically it is saying that you are getting, so just think the token in terms of data only. So it is saying that you are getting the tokens with the rate of 2 Mbps. It is as good as saying that you are getting the data at the rate of 2 Mbps, and initially you have 16 MB of data, right? So just think everything in terms of data. Now they are saying till how much time you can maintain this speed. So on an average you can send the data at C plus RT rate, right? C plus RT upon T. So which means 16 plus R, which is 2 T upon T. This rate you can send, and you can maintain this rate for how much time? If you want to maintain for 10 Mbps, so how much time you can maintain? So 16 plus 2T will be 10T, which means 8T will be 16, which means T will be 2. So that's why for 2 seconds you can maintain this rate. You're getting the point? Or if you want, you can solve it basically with the good understanding like that. See, what they are saying, that you are filling with the 2 Mbps speed. So this is your host, this is your token bucket, and this is your network. And what they are saying, that you are filling with the 2 Mbps speed, and this is 10 Mbps, and already you have 16 MB of data, right? These are the three parameters that are given to you. Now, see, this 16 MB you can obviously immediately transfer with the speed of 10 Mbps, right? So you can use this 16 MB to immediately send on the network with the speed of 10 Mbps. So that you can do for this much time, right? For this much time, definitely, which is 1.6, for this much time, definitely we can maintain 10 Mbps speed. Why? Because I am sending 16 MB of data, like because I have 16 MB of data that I can send with a 10 Mbps speed. For these many seconds, I can maintain, I can transfer the 10 Mbps speed. But after these many seconds, since the data is coming with the rate of 2 Mbps, after these many seconds, I will be having some more data. So how much data I will be having? This is, if data is coming for with the speed of this, with the rate of this, and I have this much second. So after this much second, I will be having this much data. So this is into 2 Mbps, right? So I will be having this much data. This is the extra data. This is the data I will be having after this much second, which is 1.6 second. After 1.6 second, I will be having this much data. And that data also I can transfer with the 10 Mbps speed, because that I already have in my bucket, right? That data also I can transfer with the 10 Mbps speed. So that's why for this much time also I can maintain the 10 Mbps. Right, you're getting. So initially I had 16 of data that I can immediately send with the 10 Mbps. So that's why for this much time I can maintain the 10 Mbps. Now I again have additional this much data that I can again send with the 10 Mbps speed immediately. So that's why for this much time additional I can maintain the this 10 Mbps of speed. But in this much time also I will be getting some data. So how much data you will be getting? See, data is coming at the 2 Mbps speed. So that's why you need to multiply by 2 here, which means 16 upon 10 into 2 into 1 upon 10 into 2, right? For this much time, for this much, like you will be having this much extra data in these many seconds. So this much data also you can send at the 10 Mbps speed, which means you can basically maintain for this much time, right? You can maintain 10 Mbps for this much time. So you will keep on doing it. So if you notice here, this will be a GP, which is 16 upon 10 into this will be your R. So this is A, and this is a ratio that we have. So this is the common ratio. So this is the R, and you will be having, since this is infinite series, you will be having A upon 1 minus R. So which is 16 upon 10 upon 1 minus 2 upon 10. So that's why you will be having 16 upon 10 into 10 upon 8, which is just 2 seconds. That's how also you can solve this question. I hope you got it, right? Now let's solve the next question. So next question is saying, for a host machine that uses a token bucket algorithm for congestion control, the token bucket has a capacity of 1 MB, 1 megabytes. So the token bucket is having the capacity of 1 megabytes, and the maximum output rate, so they are saying this output rate is 20 megabyte per second. So see here, they can play with the numbers. So they can also give you this number. So for both of the questions, actually for this question and earlier question, they have not played with this number. They have said like this is okay. I mean there is no shortage of the data, but they can play with this number also. Okay, so that's why you need to careful. You need to be careful. This is net 1, and they are saying maximum amount rate is 20 megabytes per second. The tokens arrives at the rate to sustain the output rate of 10 MB per second. So they are saying 10 Mbps is the token arrival rate, which is R. The token bucket is currently full. So currently it is full, let's suppose. So which means you have 1 MB of data. The machine needs to send 12 MB of data, and you want to send this machine needs to send 12 MB of data. Okay, 12 megabytes of data. The minimum time required. So what will the minimum time required? Which means you have to utilize this 20 Mbps fully. That's how you can set the data in the minimum time. So you can do with the formula, which is C plus RT upon T, which is basically you can maintain this 20 Mbps for how much time? So just check it. C plus RT upon T should be 20, which means C is 1 plus R is 10, T upon T should be 20, which means your T, if you find out, this will be 1 plus 10T equal to 20T. So from here you can find out it will be T equal to 1 upon 10. So which means you can maintain 20 Mbps for 1 upon 10 seconds only. And after 1 upon 10 seconds, what will happen? After 1 upon 10 seconds, since this is the 10 Mbps, which means you are getting the data at the rate of 10 Mbps and you are transmitting the data at the rate of 20 Mbps, which is not possible. So after 1 upon 10 seconds, your data rate will be 10 Mbps only, because this is the bottleneck. So you are sending the data at the 10 Mbps speed and you can transmit the data at the 20 Mbps speed, but you do not have the inflow, right? So that's why after 1 upon 10 seconds, your data rate will be just R, which means this host is sending some data to the token bucket, and token bucket is getting filled with the speed of, or with the rate of R MB per second. So which is given to be 10 MB per second. So which is given to be 10 MB per second. 10 megabytes, I think, right? 10 megabytes per second. So that speed which I am talking about, which is like 20 megabytes per second, that you can maintain till only 1 upon 10 seconds. Now after 1 upon 10 seconds, your speed is just 10 Mbps, your bandwidth or your data rate at which you are sending the data. So let me write data rate. Your data rate, it is just 10 Mbps, 10 megabytes per second. So for 1 upon 10 second, you can send the data with this speed, which means for 1 upon 10 second, you will be sending the data, which is 1 upon 10 into 20, and that means you will be sending 2 MB of data. So you will be sending 2 MB of data because you are sending at the rate of 20 Mbps, and that you are sending for just 1 upon 10 seconds. But after that, your data rate is just 10 Mbps, and you want to send how much data? You want to send 12 megabytes. So which means there are 10 megabytes which are remaining. So after 1 upon 10 seconds, there are 10 megabytes which are remaining, and that you are sending with the rate of 10 Mbps, which means you will be needing how much seconds? You will be needing 1 second. Why? Because you want to send 10 megabytes and you are sending at the speed of 10 megabytes per second. So that's why you will be sending the data, remaining data, in 1 second. So what is happening in 2 seconds? Sorry, in 2 seconds, or how many seconds? In 1 upon 10 seconds, you are sending 2 MB of data. In 1 upon 10 seconds, you are sending 2 MB of data, and then in 1 second, you are sending 10 MB of data. So that's how you are sending total 12 MB of data in how many seconds? 1 plus 1 upon 10, which is 0.1, that means 1.1 seconds. So you are sending 12 MB of data in 1.1 seconds. So just write 1.1 here. Or if you want, you can solve this question just using the GP. So how to solve this question using the GP is that they are saying that you have this setup, which means this is the host and you want to send 12 MB of data, and this is the token bucket. You already have how much capacities? You have already 1 MB, right? You already have 1 MB of data here, and you are filling this with the data rate of 10 MB per second. 10 MB per second, and this bandwidth is given to be 20 MB per second. Now they are saying in how much time you can send this 12 MB of data, right? So first see that you have 1 MB of data that you can send immediately with 20 MB speed. So which means you can maintain this 20 Mbps till this much time. So 1 upon 20 by, because 1 MB of data you can send in 20 Mbps with the speed of 20 Mbps, which means for this much seconds you can maintain this 20 Mbps, right? Now what you need to do? Now for this much second you will be having extra data, right? So once you exhaust this 1 Mbps in this 1 upon 20 seconds, now for 1 upon 20 seconds also with this rate you will be having extra data, which will be 1 upon 20 into 10. This is the extra data that you will be having, and you want to send this data at the rate of 20 Mbps, because you can send at the rate of 20 Mbps, which means you will be basically sending till this much time. So not only this much time you can maintain 20 Mbps, for this much time also you can maintain 20 Mbps. Similarly, you will be having extra data for this much time, so which will be 1 upon 20 into 10 into 1 upon 20. In this much time you will be having this much extra data, because you are getting the data at the rate of 10 Mbps. Now this much extra data you can send at the rate of 20 Mbps, so which means you will be having this much extra time for which you will be maintaining 20 Mbps. Now if you calculate this GP, it will be your common ratio. So this, I think 10 upon 20 will be your common ratio. 10 upon 20 will be a common ratio. So this is A, which is 1 upon 20 upon 10 upon 20 is just 1 by 2. So 1 minus 1 by 2, which is just 1 by 2. So you will be having 1 upon 10 seconds, which means till 1 upon 10 seconds you can maintain this speed. So which means in 1 upon 10 seconds, so it will be just like earlier question, in 1 upon 10 seconds you can send how much data? You, since you are sending with the speed of 20 mbps, so that's why you can send 1 upon 10 into 20 mb, so you can send 2 mb of data. Now you are remaining with the 10 mb, right? You are remaining with the 10 mb of data. Now you need to send this 10 mb of data, remaining 10 mb of data, with the speed of 10 mbps only. Why? Because now you cannot maintain this 20 mbps. Now you have exhausted this 20 mbps basically. So everything like whatever you have in your data, every data and every bytes have been exhausted. Now you can maintain this 20 mbps. So whatever is incoming, that will be the outgoing. So this token bucket will be just like a pipe. Okay, there will be just like a pipe. There is no storage here. It will be just like a incoming equal to outgoing. So basically now you need to send this 10 mbps with the speed of 10 MB per second, 10 megabytes per second, which means you will be sending in 1 second. In 1 second, you will be sending the entire data. So you are sending the data in 1 plus 0.1, which is 1.1 second. You are sending the whole data in 1.1 second. I hope you got it.